You may not know her, but you may be the recipient of one of her many email list announcements of upcoming events, Betty's List, which is run by Betty Sullivan. It's the leading internet resource of information for the Bay Area's LGBT community. If it's not on Betty's List, it doesn't exist. Out Now magazine has picked Dr. Betty Sullivan as one of the Bay Area's most influential people of 2007, and you get to meet this longtime LGBT activist later this half hour. She was nominated by Out Now magazine readers as one of the influential Bay Area people of 2007. But the road for Betty Sullivan was a long one from her humble beginnings in Mississippi, one of the poorest states in the nation.
I'm originally from the Deep South. You probably hear that in my accent. And I needed to leave, so I wanted to get out because I wanted to come out. So I started that in Memphis, and then I went to New York City for graduate school at Columbia University. So I was in New York for 4 years, and during that time I was working for the newspaper Newsday. And then after the 4 years were over and my coursework was done, USA Today hired me, and they had me move down to Washington, D.C. So I was with them for a couple of years, traveling around the country, working with journalists and with educators about media and how the media can be used appropriately for teaching and learning purposes. Then I had the pleasure of serving as the Director of Education for the Newspaper Association of America Foundation, which is the organization that newspapers throughout the U.S. belong to. And it was my job to do training within the industry. And then I was doing a similar thing for the World Association of Newspapers based in Paris, and that was my global experience. Oftentimes I think, well, here's the girl from Vicksburg, Mississippi, and how'd she get to speak at the UN, you know, and how'd she get to go to the White House luncheons, and how did all that come to be? And I guess it was meant to be.
Love was the final step that brought the girl from Vicksburg to the gay and lesbian mecca of San Francisco.
I was ready for a change, quite frankly, and I was in a bi-coastal relationship with a woman who lives out here. So I came here to be with her, and as happens oftentimes with that type of relationship, it didn't last that long. So then I had to say, well, what am I doing here? And I decided I think I will get involved in the community because I didn't know anybody. So that's been 11 years now that I've been here, and I guess I've met thousands and thousands of people, and you know, it's wonderful.
University of California at San Francisco was where Betty Sullivan got her foot in the door of the local health community.
Dr. Patty Robertson invited me to do some work at UCSF, community education about women's health and lesbian health. So I served in that capacity for 3 years, and it was a chance for me to take my previous skills in education and doing campaigns and apply them in women's health.
And it is here on Outlook Video where Betty plans to launch her next project in health education.
So today, thanks to Outlook Video, we're taking the first steps toward yet another community education program, and that is My Health Matters. A women's health education program means that we are making resources available to the community, and those resources may be published on a website, they may be appearing on a television show, they may be at an event. So bringing information and resources and experts forward so that women who wish to have a chance to learn their expertise or learn from them will have access to that. So gaining access to the information that we need to be in control of our own lives is very dear to me, and that's one of the goals of this program, that women's health information from experts like Dr. Dawn Harbatkin from Lyon Martin Clinic and Dr. Patty Robertson from UCSF and so many other wonderful women who are in the health field. We will bring them forward, and their words and expertise will be shared through this women's education program. Growing up in the Deep South, one of the struggles that I faced was isolation. And I've learned from people here in the Bay Area that even though it might seem like this is the mecca of the LGBT world, we can still be very isolated. So having a public education campaign that focuses on women's health will help those who need to find access to the information to not be isolated from it.
And though there may be a balkanization within the LGBT subgroups in San Francisco, Betty's mission is to build bridges between the gay male and female communities.
Well, my plans are to stay where I am, and that is living right here in the Bay Area and hopefully in the Castro, because I do enjoy being in the center of things. and in you know, what truly is, I think, the mecca of the gay world. So I plan to stay here and continue my work in the community. And I'm not sure what else life will bring along the way, but whatever it is, I'm ready.
In San Francisco, this is Raymond Donald Hong for Outlook Video.